I've never dated a celebrity, I don't think. I've well, I may have like hooked up with one or two in the shadows.
Rappers?
Mm, I can't tell you all the all the tea.
Okay. I know, baby. I know.
I don't think there was a rapper.
This is where it escalates fast. E.J. Johnson just put DL Hughley on full blast after DL made comments that a lot of people are calling homophobic and transphobic toward EJ. And listen, this is the part that's got everybody side-eyeing the whole situation. Because 1 minute, it's public criticism, and the next, it's turning into personal receipts getting aired out in real time. And hold up, Mo'Nique jumps right into the mix too, and she's not easing up at all. She's been waiting on this moment. And if you know their history, you already know this is about to get messy, emotional, and very personal very quickly. And here's the key spark. EJ wasn't just reacting out of nowhere. This all traces back to that interview on Reality with the King where EJ said some bold things. Including claiming he feels like he outshines every woman in the room and gets compared unfairly. And listen, that immediately sparked backlash because people felt like it was dismissive towards cis women and created unnecessary tension. Now, what's making this blow up even more is EJ's history of controversial statements about women, which has already put him under scrutiny before all of this even started. So when DL Hughley weighed in, it didn't land lightly, and now we're seeing the fallout stack up fast with old tensions, new reactions, and everything spilling over at once.
You can't wear skirts, and I was like, well, why not? You know, it's like my inner being was like, there's nothing wrong with this, especially if I look cuter than any girl does. Like, what's the problem? Like, what's the issue? And that's exactly how I apply it to myself to these days in the way that I present, like in my, you know, in my feminine regalia. You know, I've always been a feminine being, and like that's just like how I best express myself. But I'm like, listen, I'm out all the time, you know, and like I'm killing a dress and no one else is. Like the girls in the room are not doing it. Like they don't look cute. They're not dressed to any nines. So
fans left comments saying stuff like, listen to this, bless his heart, money really has folks out here looking completely delusional, like he's an NBA player shoved into a dress with an awkward neckline. Another person said, hold up, ain't nobody really checking for EJ like that. He walks around acting like he's some big celebrity, sir. Your dad is the actual celebrity here. What makes it even more intense is that people are pointing out EJ isn't even trans. I mean, sure, he dresses as a woman and refers to himself as one of the girlies, but he's still out here enjoying the same male privileges while talking down on biological women. And that's what has people really side-eyeing the situation. It's crazy. He even claimed he told his parents to stop using /him pronouns and also to stop referring to him as their son. But even I told them on my birthday,
in June, that I was like, we're not doing he, we're not doing man, we're not doing gay. Like, and it was very freeing. And also it just was, like, I wasn't like, I'm not, and it's very important, I think too, when you're, and I hate the term coming out, but I think when you're telling people about who you are telling them. I'm not looking for acceptance. I'm not looking for your validation. I am telling you what's going down.
Listen to this. In fact, he even said he feels a certain type of way when people use she/her music or any other pronouns for him.
Pronouns that you go by today, or how do you identify your sexuality?
I just say call me EJ as much as possible. Okay. It's like pronouns I don't really like he, but like I've also trained myself not to get upset when other people use it, which I think is very important. because you're giving your power away when you lose it. You know, you give words too much of personal power. You know, they is fine, you know, whatever.
Listen to this. It feels like he's trying to present himself as a woman and play that role, just so he can criticize women without anyone really pushing back. Hold up, it only gets messier from here, and you're about to see exactly why DL Hughley had to step in and check him. Anyways, let's get back into the interview. EJ then claimed he only dates straight men and says he's not attracted to gay men. He doubled down, saying he only attracts straight men and has never been involved with any man who isn't 100% straight. Music. Go ahead, take a listen.
I don't attract gay men, and I'm not attracted to gay men. Like, it's just not a thing. And I don't go to gay clubs. I don't go to, you know, gay things, because it's like the men that I attract are not there. And also, like, they're like, you know, they kind of like wave you off. You're just like, oh, that, you know, hey girl, like, you know, it's not, you're not in here like the rest of us are.
Oh, and people have been whispering that he's been quietly competing with cis women behind the scenes. And listen to this. He basically leans into it in the messiest way, saying no woman can really stand next to him because he's simply better. Hold up, because in his own words, he made it clear he wasn't about to compete with all these other people who think they're that girl when they're really not. And he had to find his own lane to tell his story exactly how he wanted it told. And just when you think it couldn't go any further, things start getting really wild, because EJ then went on to allege that he had secretly been involved with some well-known celebrities behind the scenes.
Like a celebrity?
I've never dated a celebrity, I don't think. Well, I may have like hooked up with one or two in the shadows.
Rappers?
I can't tell you all the all the tea.
Okay. I know, baby. I know.
I don't think there was a rapper.
As you can expect, that moment exploded online, and suddenly everyone was asking who those celebrities actually were. Hold up, because right after that, DL Hughley popped up in an interview and spoke out strongly, calling it irresponsible for celebrity parents to allow their young children to transition.
To a pediatrician, if you need my permission to go to a movie, then I'm going to have a say in what happens. If you believe that isn't how you want to run your family, I have no choice but to respect that. But don't pretend as if it isn't an unpopular sentiment to a lot.
Well, look, the fact that Dwayne Wade went on a promo tour.
Well, that clearly hit a nerve, and EJ allegedly came out swinging, putting Hughley on blast and calling him a hypocrite. And according to an insider, things got even messier because Hughley was allegedly sliding into EJ's DMs trying to shoot his shot, if you know what I mean. Listen, that's wild either way, but it doesn't even end there, because this isn't the first time DL Hughley has been hit with claims like that. And you already know who wasted no time clowning him for it. Monique, that's who. The tension actually goes back to when Monique was announced as the headliner for the Comedy Explosion show at the Fox Theater in Detroit. And let's be real, that headliner spot is a big deal. Big venue, packed crowd, all eyes on you. But that's not how things played out. When the show happened, Monique didn't even close the night. She was pushed to second to last, while DL Hughley ended up getting the final slot instead. And what made it even more frustrating was the lack of communication. She reportedly only found out right before going on stage, despite a contract being signed weeks earlier saying she would headline. Instead of just brushing it off, Monique addressed it right there in front of the audience. And that's when things really started to spiral.
Public contract said that a bitch is the headliner. The headliner. Let me say it again, the headliner. That's what the motherfucking contract says. Mo'Nique is to be the last motherfucking person on the goddamn stage. She is the headliner. That's what I signed the fuck up for. I'm 30 plus years in this motherfucking business and I don't open for no goddamn body. The contract said the headliner. The contract said the headliner. The contract said the headliner. But a nigga named DL Hughley turned into a bitch and said I won't perform if she does that. I won't go out if she does that. Nigga, you open for the kings of comedy. I close for the queens of comedy, nigga.
Now, what really stands out is that at the time, she was hinting that he was allegedly on the DL and involved in some secret situations with men. Hold up, she even pushed it further, basically questioning the whole DL label and implying, what does that even stand for? And how deep are these rumors really going behind the scenes? Hughley then responded to Monique's accusations on Instagram. And let's just say his reply was far from calm or diplomatic. He posted a photo of Monique from the movie Precious and wrote, "All you have to do is check the order of names on the ticket stub from last night, and you'll see who's confused." He didn't stop there, adding, "Against my better judgment, over the objections of my team, and after multiple times I already said no, I still chose to work with Monique. Oprah was the problem. Tyler Perry was the problem. Charlemagne was the problem. Steve Harvey was the problem. Lee Daniels was the problem. Netflix was the problem. Now it's my turn." He continued, "At some point, it can't be everybody else. It has to be you. Lesson learned. I had no personal issue with Monique. People paid good money to laugh, not hear about contract disputes." Then he added another jab, saying, "Apparently, the character you played in Precious turned out to be more real life than fiction." And he ended it with, "I wonder who's next. DL Hughley." At that point, E.J. Johnson had already dropped the allegation, DL Hughley was caught right in the crossfire, and Monique kept the pressure fully on. Now it's no longer just about opinions. It's about perception and how the public is reading everything. And right now, the narrative is loud, messy, and sticking everywhere it goes. Because once your name gets tied into something like this, it doesn't just fade away or get forgotten. It follows you, and people don't let it go that easily.